I'm Ryan Burr, and here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now. The Vikings head coach Brad Childress says Brett Favre has an avulsion fracture and a stress fracture of his ankle. Surgery is not necessary. Favre is in a walking boot. The Vikings face the Patriots in New England this weekend. Allen Iverson has agreed in principle to an incentive-laden 2-year, $4 million contract with a Turkish professional team. This according to Yahoo Sports. Iverson's contract will include an opt-out clause after the season, but not during it. The Blue Jays have hired former Red Sox pitching coach John Farrell as their new manager. Farrell, who pitched in the majors for part of 8 seasons, has never managed at any level. He replaces Cito Gaston, who retired following the season. Coming up on SportsCenter at 6 o'clock this evening, Chris Mortensen will have the latest on Brett Favre's injury. Plus, we give you a preview of the Monday Night Football game, the Giants and the Cowboys. NFL Primetime is next.
Ballistic. Raiders again.
It's a trifecta for Kenny Britt. They fake the punt.
There is the most satisfying dagger the Green Bay Packers could ever throw.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
Hi, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of NFL Primetime. As always, thanks for making us part of your day. Trey Wingo alongside factor back Merrill Hodge and a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Trent Dilfer. Guys, Week 7 was absolutely nuts. Things that we thought were actually going to happen didn't happen. Some of the finishes were absolutely crazy, and we finish up Week 7 tonight with a huge Monday night showdown. The Dallas Cowboys trying to keep their season alive as they welcome in the New York Giants, a team that swept them a year ago and went in there last year to Cowboy Stadium and walked out with a win. We've got complete coverage of that contest, team reports on both teams, beginning with Susie Colper. Susie, where are the Cowboys and Tony Romo right now?
Well, it seems no matter what the circumstance, Tony Romo is calm, cool, and collected. It's how his teammates describe him. It's how we found him and talking to him over the weekend. He's not a big speech guy, but he does embrace being the leader of the Cowboys, and the other guys do look to him. Now, the criticism this season has been 7 interceptions already after throwing just 9 last season, and he said he does feel like they come in bunches. It starts to snowball, but hopefully he's hit the quota, and he does have to do a better job of weighing the risk and reward on a particular play. He also told me he has been able to analyze plays, and when he looks back at them, the key to being a pro athlete is training your mind not to make the same mistake again. And now for the defense he's going to be facing tonight, here's Michelle Tafoya.
Susie, through 6 games, the Giants are tied for second in total defense. And defensive ends Justin Tuck and Osi Umenyiora credit new defensive coordinator Perry Fewell. Tuck told us that early on in camp, Fewell said, this isn't going to be my defense. It's not going to be Osi's defense. It's going to be our defense. And Tuck said that gave us ownership. It's not just Perry's baby. It's our baby, and we all want to take care of it. And it's not just the defensive line's defense. Fewell told us that the secondary is doing such a good job batting wide receivers around just long enough to give that line an extra second or two to get to the quarterback. And Trey, so far, through 6 games, the Giants are tied for second in the NFL with 21 sacks.
All right, Michelle, thanks, and Susie, thank you as well. Now let's talk about that defense here for a second. Trent, you played with some pretty good defenses in Baltimore and in Tampa. What do you see out of this Giants defense? Do you see things they're doing that make you think, hey, they could be special?
Yeah, the first thing I look at is how smart teams are on defense, how aware they are, and how they react to plays when they can't get to the quarterback. And that's what I love about the New York Giants defense. They have a ferocious pass rush, but they're so smart and aware when they can't get there. And where that shows up is in batted balls. And this is amazing. Teams are going to try quick drops against the Giants because of the pass rush, so you got to be aware. Look at Pierre-Paul. He knows he can't get home. It's good protection. Johnson's open for the first down, but Pierre-Paul recognizes, gets his eyes in his backfield, and gets his hand up and deflects the ball. This is always a bad thing for the offense, either incompletion or interception. Once again, Canty, 3-step drop, Andre Johnson open. It's going to be a positive play for the offense, except Chris Canty knows he can't get home to the quarterback. He gets his hand up. And now Cofield in the middle. Another rush. They can't get home. It's going to be a first down. There was a receiver open downfield, but he gets his hands up, knocks down the ball, prevents the Houston Texans from converting a big completion and marching the chains. You start knocking down enough balls and you're getting sacks, you completely frustrate the offense, and it's just another weapon, another tool in the defensive toolkit.
You know how you neutralize that? You line up in the I formation, and you hand it back to Marion Barber, and you end that discussion right there, big fella.
Well, we'll see if that happens. We'll see if the Cowboys commit to the run, which has been a problem for them all season long. But let's talk about something that the Cowboys defense is going to have to deal with. You know, Steve Smith, in many ways, his coming out party in the NFL was a division round playoff matchup a couple years ago against the Dallas Cowboys. What do you see in his ability to do tonight against a secondary that, when they're not getting pass interference penalties, can play pretty well?
Well, there's a little bit of history here, as we know. And Steve Smith, what I love about the National Football League, it is about matchups and trying to create matchups for players that you like. And Steve Smith is one that the Giants love, especially in the slot. And in the past, they've had enormous success of getting him the football. And against Orlando Scandrick, they have been able to do that. They create the matchup in the slot. Steve Smith is an outstanding route runner. He sets things up beautifully. This is a little stick, nod, go. You know they get the Cowboys in cover two. And here you'll see the route even better. The out move. He sells the out. He gets his shoulders turned. Scandrick's looking back at the quarterback in conjunction with Steve Smith's route, and almost every defender will be fooled by that. But that is a matchup. There is no question they will go tonight. Now, can the Cowboys change up their coverage enough not to expose Scandrick, or does he play better? That will be a pivotal thing to watch in this game.
Well, listen, one thing's for sure. The Giants, one way or the other, are going to determine the Cowboys' season because they play tonight, then in 3 weeks they play again. So 2 wins by the Cowboys over New York, they're right back in the NFC East. They lose these 2 divisional games, the Dallas Cowboys are essentially dead and buried. And they've done a good job so far this year burying themselves with penalties and all kinds of mistakes. And those penalties are coming at critical times for the Cowboys. They have 10 penalties in the red zone. Now look at the teams that are all in front of them already with those penalties in the red zones. All of those have played more games than the Dallas Cowboys. So they've got to get out of their own way and stop beating themselves, and we'll see what they could do against the Giants tonight on Monday Night Football. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, we've got news about Brett Favre, and there's no way it's good news if you're a Vikings fan. Plus, we've got the highlights of the Saints game against the Browns. And if you're a Saints fan, there is in no way good news in these highlights. Stay with us.
NFL Primetime is delivered by PapaJohns.com. Just a click of the mouse, Papa's in the house.
Hey, what's up? I'm Stuart Scott. Check out Monday Night Countdown all season long right here on ESPN America.
ESPN America Moments.
And the pass, and there's the Vernon Davis, and Vernon Davis maybe stopped at the 1-yard line. The ball is over before his knee hits.
Clearly a touchdown right there.
On stopping on 3rd down, and Batch goes for the big ball. What a catch! Antoine Randall inside the 1. Right over Fabian Washington for 34. 18 carries for 107 yards on the day, and he's adding more. Look at that move to the end zone for the touchdown.
Jacksonville looking for the win. Scobie sweeps the leg, 59 yards away. He's got it. Jacksonville wins, 31-28. Scobie the hero, a 59-yard field goal, and the Jaguars knock off the Colts.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. In Week 7, the New York Giants roll into the Big D. Coverage starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
That one's going to
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
And welcome back to Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer. Guys, Sunday night, for only the second time in his long career, Brett Favre, the enemy at Lambeau Field, as the Vikings took on, Vikings took on the Packers. Favre, by the way, through 5 games, had already matched his interception total from his magical season a year ago when he had 33 touchdown
boy's
passes.
hot today. I love it.
And only 7 picks. All right, so there's Brett Favre, and there was a little bit of this from the Princess Bride. Boo! Boo! They were booing Brett Favre, and in the second quarter, they booed this. Shanko, it's a touchdown. They're all celebrating. They're up 21-14 until there's a challenge. Did the ball move, Trent? Did it?
I don't think it did. The ball is secure all the way down to the ground. The ground did not help him make that catch. Should have been a catch.
The refs disagreed with you.
I know. But that's what the rule says.
It was a field goal, so they go up 17-14. Then in the third quarter, Brett Favre did things they don't want him to do. As he was tackled there and tackled, by the way, around his ankles, which we'll get to in a minute, A.J. Hawk comes up with the interception, and you see Brett Favre limping off. But Brett Favre would indeed find a way to come back on the next drive. Not sure if that might have been the most prudent thing to do, because on the next drive, Desmond Bishop, congratulations, you've got a pick 6. The 9th in one day sets an NFL record. Trent Dilfer, I say to you, what happened?
Brett Favre panics a little bit as he's extending the play. He knows he's going to get hit. Instead of just dirting it or eating it, he just throws it up for grabs, and that's the consequence of that decision.
28-17, the Pack goes up. Favre 3 picks in the game. Fourth quarter, it's now 4th and 5. They're down by 4. They got to have a first down, and they go to Randy Moss. They converted 2 fourth downs on this drive. After a sack, it's 2nd and 16. Favre to Adrian Peterson. Always a wise choice.
But now that's a big-time instinctive play, realizing the Packers have the screen all figured out, reverses field, and he is an amazing open field runner.
So they get a first down, then there's a penalty to make it 1st and 15. They get the completion to Shanko here, but you see more laundry, and Phil Lodeholt just grabs a whole load of Clay Matthews face mask.
And this is a devastating penalty. You get down there where you can take some legitimate shots to the end zone. Now you're too far out to make them legitimate, high kind of ones you can capitalize.
That's correct. So it's a 15-yard penalty.
Waving your hand at me, maybe I could have got it out.
Well, I don't know. It's only an hour show. Percy Harvin there. It's a touchdown. It's the Vikings coming back. They've done it again. Brett Favre magic. But wait a minute. Did he get both feet in bounds? The booth reviews it.
Take a look. Not even close.
Not even close. So 1 foot is out. It is no go. Harvin dejected. Favre dejected. But they still have time. 4th and 15, under 30 seconds. Like, get up, Brett. Get up. He's running around. He's got to try and make something happen over the head of Randy Moss. Doesn't quite get there. Aaron Rodgers says, I finally beat this dude. Hugs at the center of the field afterwards. 28-24, the final score. And then after the game, listen to what Brad Childress said about his quarterback.
You got to play within the confines of our system. Sometimes it's okay to punt the football, and you know you can't give 7 points going the other way. Not in a game like this. Not with a high-powered team. The one by Bishop, I'd have to look at that and want to know where we're going with the football, because I believe the play was designed to go to the other side, and I think Percy's standing there in big air. So not sure why we were looking at the left-hand side.
All right, so Brad Childress basically saying, I don't know why you did what he did. Now listen, everyone's agreeing you can't throw the ball to the other team 3 times and expect to win, including one that goes back for a touchdown. As a quarterback, if you heard that from your head coach, what would you think?
I'd be upset. You know, I don't like the head coach throwing the quarterback underneath the bus. I don't like him throwing any player underneath the bus, and that's what you saw right there with Brad Childress. And the biggest issue there is he loses his poise, he loses composure. In crisis situation, you want your head coach to get up there and take some of the blame, not point fingers. He's telling the team in private quarters, hey, let's keep all of our issues in-house. Let's not call people out. And he'll use the head coach to get up there and say it. The message it sends is, hey, I'm Brad Childress. I'm smart, and I'm not at fault. And Brett Favre, you're dumb, and you're totally at fault for this loss. You lose respect in the locker room when you do that to a player like Brett Favre. And I think there'll be long-term consequences because of this.
You know what? When I watch this game, you know, they kind of get what they asked for. You know, I looked at that one interception that Brett Favre threw. You have Randy Moss lined up on a linebacker. The one, I'm going to tell you, the one that was a pick 6 when he threw it to Bishop.
Desmond Bishop.
You have Moss matched up on a linebacker. I mean, You can't get a more favorable situation than that. But through this whole game, it has been so much emphasis to throw the ball to Randy Moss, throw the ball to Randy Moss, that I do understand some of this critique from the head coach is when you got to do the confines of the offense. You know, where does the defense dictate you go? And so many times it was forced to 84 because he's on the field. And that, to me, is such a negative to your football team. And I don't have a problem with him challenging a quarterback or somebody on the team and see how they will respond. You know, I didn't hear him say he was dumb. Right. But you got to play in the structure of our offense. And I don't think there's anything wrong with now see how Brett responds in that fashion.
Well, we'll see if we can respond, because right now at his press conference on Monday, Brad Childress revealed that an MRI showed not one but two fractures in that left ankle of Brett Favre, an avulsion fracture and a stress fracture. He's in a walking boot right now. Surgery is not required. You showed him on that A.J. Hawk interception. They're being dragged down by his ankle. His ankle, of course, was the source of whether or not he would be coming back this summer. Right now, they're saying surgery is not necessary, but he's in a walking boot. Keep in mind, guys, this is the greatest streak maybe in the history of professional sports. Definitely in football. 291 straight starts dating back to September of 1992 when the first George Bush was in the office, in the White House. Not the second one, the first one. Actually, it's unbelievable how long this has been on. 315 straight starts if you count the playoffs. Do we think it ends this Sunday when they travel to New England?
I wish I had the medical term of these fractures. That would help me with this diagnosis. But with two fractures, I don't think so. I don't know, based on how he played the end of that game, it's either going to end this week or at some point during the season. Just physically, it's starting to pile up. And I know I've heard you talk about the emotional aspect. That's wearing on him as well.
No doubt. And the odds are probably in favor that he won't play this week, but Brett Favre's beaten the odds throughout his career on overcoming injuries, overcoming drama, overcoming all the aspects that go in with sustaining this kind of streak. I just would never bet against the man, whether he'd just line up on Sunday and play, though.
He's in a walking boot now. They don't need surgery. We'll see if he'll make it to 292 regular season straight starts Sunday when the Vikings travel to New England to take on the Patriots. Lots more coming on primetime, including never has punt trickeration been more critical to the outcome of a game than it was for the Browns, who apparently know a thing or two about beating Super Bowl champs. And the Bengals-Falcons game, back and forth all day long.
Third and 26 with 43 seconds remaining before the half. Breeze into a crowd, and that is going to be intercepted. Coming up with it is Kareem Moore.
Moving to his left. Ball stolen away.
Meacham stole the ball.
Robert Meacham takes it, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
My goodness. Robert Meacham finds a new way of getting into the end zone.
What a freaky play.
ESPN America Moments.
Reception by Cody Hoffman.
Deep drop for Rivers. Steps up and throws out across. Antonio Gates. Circus catch for Gates. How did he bring that one in?
Mello, thanks a lot for the headband, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Oh, it's soaked.
Yeah, it was a tough show. I mispronounced Yesikavicius. Stewart was late getting in a couple of times. If I didn't have that, I couldn't have read the teleprompter, so thank you. Hey, you have any socks that I could borrow? We're going to run some ball out back.
No.
All right, thanks for the headband. I appreciate it.
SportsCenter, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Michelle Tafoya at Cowboys Stadium with this team report. Giants center Sean O'Hara told us that Tom Coughlin's #1 goal every season is the same. If you can run the football, then you can establish your will against any opponent, and that's how you establish a physical football team. And O'Hara said that's how they've won a lot of games. He also said Eli Manning would probably rather throw it 45 times a game, but more than that, Manning wants win. And he said Manning probably doesn't get enough credit for his involvement in the success of the running game. In fact, he says Manning spends as much time working on the run game as he does on the passing game. And through 6 games, the Giants are averaging just over 136 yards rushing per game, 5th in the NFL. Now back.
Primetime rolls on. The Browns and the Saints. We are a happy crew showing you a slimmed down Eric Mangini.
Yes, we are.
And apparently the trick plays were working. He knew he couldn't go with his regular squad and just hope to beat the Saints. So it's Josh Cribbs on a punt, throws it back to Eric Wright. And Eric Wright has gone 62 yards before he's tripped up at the Saints 19. But in classic Cleveland fashion, it led to a field goal. Second quarter, Browns up 10-3, punting 4th and 8. Reggie Hodges. Should I go down now? Should I fall down now? No, keep going, Reggie. 68 yards. It's the longest run by a punter since the NFL merger. And the Browns end up kicking a field goal. Fourth quarter, the Browns 3rd and 6. Direct snap to Peyton Hillis, who throws it to Colt McCoy, who takes it up the sidelines for 13 yards.
This is a factor back, throwback. Everybody has it in their playbook. More people should run it.
All right, here's the problem.
Factor back, throwback.
Here's the problem, Trent. Drew Brees throwing it right to former teammate Scott Fujita in the red zone.
Yeah, he just doesn't look as decisive, and some of Drew Brees' mistakes this year have been compounded.
Well, look at these two now. Listen, he just named his second son Bowen this week. I'm hoping he's not reconsidering, because that's off the backside of Jari into the hands of David Bowens for the touchdown. It's 20-3. It's not going to again, is it? You bet it is. He's only the 3rd linebacker since the merger with 2 pick sixes. It goes straight the other way. 30-17, the Browns to New Orleans, come out with a win. It is the 3rd straight year the Browns have beaten the defending Super Bowl champs. Turnovers, obviously a huge part of this discussion, Trent, but something is wrong. This is a Saints team that's just 1 game over 500 right now and trailing in the division.
Well, we've made excuses for him all year long, and I think this is really the first time you look at Drew Brees and say he was a big reason for this loss. And Drew Brees is a great quarterback in this league, but sometimes players that are great try too hard. They take that mentality of work hard during the week, and they don't transfer it to try easy on Sundays. When you're working on Sundays, like you're working Monday through Saturday, your brain gets cluttered, and you don't play as instinctively as you want to. And I see that in Drew Brees. Not quite as decisive, trying too hard, working too hard on Sundays, and that's where the mistakes are coming.
You know, and they're not helping him very much.
No.
You know, you go into this game, most people go, I can't believe Cleveland beat the New Orleans Saints. Just because the Cleveland Browns are 1-4 does not mean this defense is bad. In fact, I will tell you this.
No, their defense
as I
is
study
pretty good.
Cleveland's defense, they are as good as any defense, especially in passing situations or in long yardage situations. They do a lot of things that are not very familiar looking to your offensive line nor to your backs, and therefore not to your quarterback. And that's what they did. They kept him so uncomfortable. Here's one of those uncomfortable things. You got 8 guys standing up, 1 guy on the ground. It's hard for your offensive line to account who's coming, who's not coming. Snap the ball, really, you have 3 guys coming, 2 guys get in clean. You got an extra guy dropping into coverage. You're down in scoring. Windows of opportunity to throw the football have already shrunk. You got a lot of people in a small area. So the Cleveland Browns, a beautiful job of disrupting Drew Brees, forcing even the great ones. You know, Trent mentioned it. You get Peyton Manning in those situations, he makes bad decisions. You get Tom Brady in those situations, he makes bad decisions. That is what teams have been able to do. It's not just to him, but so many people, the Cleveland Browns have done. This is just not an accident by them. They've been doing it all year.
And what you said about the Saints makes perfect sense, because they talked about it all offseason. We're going to stay focused. We're going to stay. It's like they're almost pressing too much. Just let it go, like a golf swing. Let it go and let it go.
I could do that.
Yeah, well, we could
take
do that.
a week off.
We'd have a different job. Meanwhile, it doesn't get any easier for them. The Steelers come to New Orleans next week. How about the Bengals and the Falcons? Boy, you want to talk about a game that swung one way and then the other way. Mike Smith trying to take care of a Cincinnati squad, and it looked like things were going well on a 3rd and 1. Play action to Roddy White for a touchdown. Trent, is this a primetime dime?
I'd say this is a primetime dime. This ball is so beautiful. Roddy White's head down. He's trucking. When he turns around, look at that. Ball just drops right into the breadbasket. As good a throw as you'll see by Matt Ryan.
So the Falcons go up 17-3. This primetime dime brought to you by Trent Dilfer. At one point, they were up 24-3, then 24-6. Carson Palmer to T.O. Hey, say what you want about T.O. He's got 150 touchdowns now in his career. The Bengals down 24-13. Next Falcons drive. Matt Ryan throwing, and Leon Hall is right there. Boy, talk about going up at the moment of truth,
baby. The point of impact, the highest point of the football, the moment of truth. The corners for the Cleveland Cincinnati Bengals have played well. It's this interior defensive lineman and linebackers better start playing better.
Okay, so the next Bengals possession, what does Carson Palmer see in here, Trent?
Carson Palmer obviously sees a pressured package coming, gets to a nice play right there, an underneath route with a clear off in between it. Those are great blitz beaters. Carson Palmer saw it, executed the play.
Jordan Shipley, the rookie out of Texas, for the 64-yard touchdown, 24-19, just over 20 seconds left. Ryan completes to Roddy White, but that's Adam Pac-Man Jones with the strip, and he takes it 59 yards the other way for a touchdown. The Bengals go up 25-24, but they failed a second two-point conversion. They scored 19 points in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Never doubt the fact bar. Fourth quarter, same score. Boy, Roddy White had himself a day. Double-digit catches, 200 yards, and there's your sealer. And they had a successful two-point conversion. Falcons hang on to win 39-32. When we continue here on Primetime, in honor of Trent Dilfer's appearance in Baltimore, it was an offensive showing for Ray Lewis and company. Plus, did the officials get the call right in the scrum in the end zone between the Steelers and the Dolphins?
The NHL is on ESPN America. Catch every team, every goal, and all the big games, including the playoffs and the Stanley Cup Finals. Plus, NHL on the Fly keeps you in the know. Looking for NHL action? The puck stops here. Hockey's best go head-to-head all season long, live on ESPN America, home of the NHL.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've closed that book, and I'm not looking back at it.
This game has been about our team.
Pulling that ball in is Hines Ward. Steelers show blitz. He's going to be hit, and the ball is loose.
There's only one running back today. The general has spoken. Chris Johnson, you heard me?
Believe that.
Johnson picking his way forward. He's out the back door. They give it to Johnson running right. He's met in the hole, breaks the tackle, and goes in for a touchdown. Titans.
At SportsCenter, we're always trying to stay ahead of the curve, and that's why we're really excited about the new Anchor Cam.
Welcome to SportsCenter. I'm John Butchergross.
And I'm Jay Harris. John, it was Retro Day in Cincy.
I think it really lets people get into our heads.
But it was a rookie pitcher that sent the Phillies in their early retirement last night. And in Boston, do the Red Sox have any more miracles left?
We think it's going to change sports journalism forever.
John?
And just when you think the Windy City couldn't get any colder,
SportsCenter, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Did you know the San Diego Chargers brought in the #1 overall offense and the #1 overall defense?
I did.
A losing record. Oh, this game against the New England Patriots. Philip Rivers says that's got to change. First quarter, there is no score. Philip Rivers to Patrick Creighton, and Brandon Merriweather with the big hit. Remember, he was fined last week, big money. NFL VP Ray Anderson approves this hit.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a targeted area. It's under the shoulder pads. He's bringing his shoulders. I just like to see him bring his arms too, execute a form tackle.
All right, so the Chargers got a field goal to go up 3-0. Then they had all kinds of mistakes. This is rookie Richard Goodman, his first NFL catch. Hey, congratulations. No, dude, you're not down until somebody touches you down in the NFL. Live ball recovered by the Patriots.
Richard Goodman, such a hurry to get up and celebrate his catch. Just play football, quit worrying about the other stuff.
Yeah, Vincent Jackson did this once for the Chargers, Plexico Burress a few years ago, then Jacob Hester. That's possibly a lateral. You might want to go after the ball.
And you're always taught when that ball is, regardless, just assume it's a lateral, go get it.
And again. Yeah, that will. Good point. And that's recovered by Rob Ninkovich, who recovers it and gets it all the way to the Chargers' 8 line. The Chargers had 4 turnovers in the first half, got down to the 8-yard line. Fourth quarter, they're down 23-6. This game is over, 7:23. Wait a minute. It's Antonio Gates for a touchdown. They're down 23-13. And then they try the onside kick. Oh, and it's recovered by who else but Richard Goodman, atoning for previous sins. They still got a shot. It's 3rd and 9 now. Rivers needs a big play, and he dials one up to Shea Jaratutu. Who didn't for a 20-yard gain? They're in Patriots territory. Next play, a more conventional choice, Antonio Gates, and easier for me to pronounce, for 26 yards, down to the Patriots' 13-yard line. So now it's 3rd and goal. Now watch Mike Tolbert. He gets in. Does anybody ever signal touchdown in an official crew? They never did.
It was unbelievable.
They never did. It took forever.
And he was in a mile, too,
He
by
was.
the way.
All right, so it's 23-20. So now it's a 3rd and 3. Wes Welker comes up short, so it's 4th and 1. You got to punt the ball, Bill, right? I am Bill Belichick. I do not punt in these situations. Remember November a year ago, 4th and 2. They went for it in Indy inside their own 30. Didn't get it. Peyton got the ball back, scored. They lost the game by a point. They go for it on 4th and 1, and the entire law firm of Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis is stuffed. So now the Chargers got a short field to try and kick a game-tying field goal. Here comes the Chargers. Once again, Gates, 12 yards. They're close to a field goal range now. Later, on 3rd and 10, it's, Gates for 8 yards. So it's a 45-yarder for new kicker Chris Brown because Nick Kading's hurt, but you got to be kidding me. False start.
Discipline,
False start. So now, and you know what? I think it might have been possibly good from 45. The Patriots survive the controversial decision. The Chargers lose again, 23-20. Speaking of controversy, here. Okay, it's Steelers, Dolphins. There's James Harrison getting set again, fined $75,000 for the illegal hit last week. Did he play any differently? We'll find out. Chad Henne, looking time. There's Ronnie Brown. Now, that's James Harrison. Sort of pulls off the big hit there, right?
Playing like an NFL player, like a professional.
All right. Did not have any issues. Ben Roethlisberger, second game back from suspension. Boy, this is what they do now with him. This is the element that wasn't there, Trent, to Mike Wallace.
He can flat get the ball down the football. Wallace is a budding superstar.
No question. Loves the line.
Touchdown pass. It's 17-9. Ben threw for over 300. But then Devon Best from Chad Henne.
That's big time.
He's got great lower body strength. Does it all the time. Touchdown. Dolphins down 17-16 at the break. Here's where things get crazy. Fourth quarter, 20-19. Dolphins. Anthony Fasano, we think he went out of bounds. Gain of 22. 1 TD in the game for Henne and 257 yards. Under 4 minutes left after the field goal to make it 22-20. Mewelde Moore takes it all the way to the 14. 29-yard gain on a big 3rd down. Then the Steelers, 3rd and goal. It's a quarterback draw. Ben Roethlisberger. Wait a minute. Finally, we see arm.
It's
touchdown.
A touchdown. No
it was
question,
ruled
right?
a touchdown on the field. However, it was then challenged. And here's where it really got interesting, okay? The ball looks like it may have come out beforehand, but then the question becomes, well, what happens to the ball afterwards? Many reviews of this, and it does look like from these angles, and again, the camera can be a little difficult, but it looks like the ball came out just before he crossed the plane. So now we have to have referee Gene Steratore explain exactly what he saw when he went under the hood and try and make the call, because not only do you have that, but you also have who's got the ball under there. So there are two things that have to be reviewed and understood, and after much discussion, despite the Dolphins coming out with the ball.
However, by rule in replay, 2 aspects of this play must be available to be viewed. Not only did we have to view the fumble being a fumble, we also have to have clear evidence of the team recovering the ball. After review, we do not have clear evidence of the defense recovering the football.
So that led to a 4th and goal for the Steelers. Jeff Reed comes on, hits a chip shot 18-yarder, and the Steelers, by the slimmest of margins, go on to win 23-22. Clearly a turning point in that game if there ever was one, guys. What do we make of the way the play was called and what Steratore had to say after the review?
Well, one thing is obvious. You need clear evidence. You need clear evidence of everything that takes place.
The Dolphins would say the guy walked out of the pile with the ball.
Would say that's clear evidence. Here's what happens. You know, when an official, and the official came in from the one angle with his hands up in the air, signaling touchdown immediately. And what happens with players and even officials, you go to sleep. You really think the play is over. Obviously, it's a touchdown. And that's where lies the problem. Somehow you have to keep extending beyond that, even though it was signaled a touchdown, especially when the ball leaves the player.
Exactly. As players, we're not allowed to go to sleep, right? I mean, what were you taught?
We saw everybody jump on there right away.
And offense and defense, as players, you're taught you don't really have to listen for the whistle. Don't assume anything. If you see that ball loose, you do everything you can to get to the football because we don't want to leave it into the hands of the refs. The referee, the system could be the same.
Right.
You know, I understand it's a signal to touchdown, so they kind of go to sleep, as you said, but we should always track the ball to the end because with replay in place, you never know if the ruling's going to change or not.
And again, one of the weirder things about it, when the Dolphin player came out with the ball, the K-ball was already on the field. You had Gene Steratore, so there were 2 footballs within inches of the goal line. The whole thing was an absolute mess. By the way, speaking of a mess, the Dolphins are 3-0 on the road this season, 0-3 at home.
Well, just don't play at home.
It's the National Football League. I think you want to play at home. Merrill Hodge with a unique perspective on how to win games. Thank you, Merrill.
You pay me for it.
Bills, Ravens. Ryan Fitzpatrick channeling his inner Trent Dilfer in this game. Trent was in attendance, by the way. Why were you there?
Honored the 10-year anniversary of the Super Bowl team. Very nice.
That's correct. And in your honor, he threw that touchdown pass to Steve Johnson. I doubt it. But it was 17-3 Buffalo. I do what I can. And then to Lee Evans. It's 24-10. The Bills are slicing up the Ravens defense. Ray Lewis did not appreciate what was going on there. And he said, this must stop, and it must stop now. All right. By the way, Ed Reed's first game back, and let's just say they were happy to have him. One of his 2 interceptions on the day also had a fumble.
I know of no player that has a greater knack for just being around the ball or getting to the ball.
He's a magnet.
Absolutely is. And after that, on the ensuing drive, it's a flea flicker to Anquan Bolden, 34-yard touchdown from Flacco. The Ravens go back up 27-24. Okay, fourth quarter, Bills trailing by 10. The Bills are down by 10, and it's Lee Evans again. There were 4 touchdown passes here against the Ravens defense from Fitzpatrick. Last guy to do that was Peyton Manning in 2007. They rolled up 500 yards of offense. Here's another one for 14 yards. It's first down as the Bills need a field goal to tie it. 46 seconds left, 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick to Evans one more time. They call a timeout to stop the clock. So now with 23 seconds left, it's 3rd and 10. Fitzpatrick one more time looking for Steve Johnson, who is really becoming a great weapon for them here. So now it's down to the 33-yard line. Ryan Lindell, a 50-yarder with time running out to force overtime. Yes! Plays it correctly. We go in to overtime. In overtime with the Bills and the ball. 2nd and 10. Here's the play that Buffalo fans and Trent Dilfer don't understand. Here's the completion, but what happens after?
Well, Ray Lewis stops forward momentum, and it's 2 seconds they hold him up. I think that whistle should be blown within 1 second. This play never should have happened. Ray should not have had the chance now to strip the ball because that play should have been blown dead.
But give them credit. They played until they heard the whistle. And that's a former Raven, by the way, saying that. So that gives the ball to the Ravens and Billy Cundiff, and a 38-yarder. Yeah, boy, it didn't look good from a lot of camera angles, but we did think it'd go through. And the Ravens come back to win 37-34. When we continue, Kansas City may be really, really good. The ground game ground up the Jaguars at Arrowhead, and it's gone to a whole new level for Jay Cutler and the Bears offense. That's not a good thing.
Turning Point is brought to you by Fidelity Investments. Turn here.
What are you doing? Like, what do you mean?
What's going on, guys?
Josh, what's up, man?
Excuse me. What's up with him?
A couple of those home run derby balls you hit?
Yeah.
They were his cousins.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America. ESPN America Moments.
took Hester back to the 39. Picked up a block, and here comes Hester. He might go. Devin Hester got it. Touchdown, Chicago.
Fly to the end zone, and a diving catch is made for a touchdown by Percy Harvin.
Here's the handoff to McCluster, double reverse, and flea flicker. Castle throwing downfield, touchdown, Dwayne Bowe. Castle gets time, throws to the end zone. Oh, what a grab! What a grab by Moreeeee for a touchdown!
The NFL is on ESPN America. Every Sunday, Chris Berman and the gang get you primed for all the matchups on the 25th season of Sunday NFL Countdown. Then, catch a triple header of the best games from across the league. And when the weekend's over, the action is far from it. Monday Night Countdown gets you pumped for Monday Night Football Live. So if you're looking for NFL action, look no further. We've got it all, including the playoffs, the Pro Bowl, and the Super Bowl. Football's best go head-to-head all season long, live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Susie Colbert at Cowboy Stadium with this team report. Four-time Pro Bowl linebacker DeMarcus Ware has been a giant killer, but these days he's more concerned with what's killed the Cowboys' chances of winning. He told me they have to be more focused in big play situations, using an example of a recent 3rd and 21 in which they allowed the opponent to convert on a screen. He said it just can't happen. They have to be more fundamentally sound, play with more discipline, and above all, be accountable. If a guy makes a mistake, they have to let him know how much it hurt the team. Now back to Primetime.
Primetime rolls on. Jacksonville Jaguars in Kansas City to take on the resurgent Chiefs. Thomas Jones on that ground game, working. As in right up the gut and a 70-yard gain. Boy, everybody says this guy can't do it anymore, and all he does is do it and do it well.
Love Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator there, all that kinds of wrinkles. 3 tight ends, 5 offensive linemen. We coming to the left, boys. But no, it's a wind back. We'll get flow to the left, but then the little wind back kick out. We have a kick out there. We have a seal here. And now we have my seal of approval. And we're in the alley, my brothers. Big time wrinkle. Chiefs are about running the football. Gotta love it.
So in other words, they said take that and rewind it back. They ran for over 200 yards. They would score on the next play. Those that know bad music know what I just said. All right, third quarter, Chiefs up by a single solitary point. This has been the sticking point in the Chiefs offense. Do they have the aerial attack? And Dwayne Bowe, 53 yards for a score, Trent.
What I like what the Chiefs do is they're a ground and pound team, but when they do throw it, they try to strike.
You mean like here?
Like here. I love the little twist route in the red zone. Dwayne Bowe has a problem catching the ball when he's able to hold on to and do the nice little fancy footwork. Great play by Dwayne Bowe.
His second TD of the day, 3 catches, 81 yards. That's an unbelievable catch. He really was dialed in. Now, Todd Bauman was signed as the starter in Jacksonville this past Tuesday. He had some issues. He had some good plays, but this one was not one of them. Derek Johnson, one of those 9 pick 6, we talked about it. The Chiefs ran for over 200 yards, and they put up 42 points as they take out the Jaguars. All right, Eagles and Titans, Kevin Cobb once again under center. Andy Reid trying to figure out a way to beat a team that has had a really good run against NFC opponents. And here, now, listen, did Michael Griffin perhaps pull off because of the rules that are in place?
Well, let's hope he did, because
away.
that's what we're trying to do. You know what? Play like a professional, play with sound fundamental techniques, and that still means you can hit people as hard as you possibly can. Great
Like
target area. Love that target area. Bring your arms. That's how you play football.
Alter and Werner there. He's been making plays for them all season long. Third quarter, Eagles up 67. This was a huge turning point in this game. It looks like they're going to go up for another score, go up by 23 perhaps. Instead, the ball turns over. The whole thing was a meltdown.
Yep, penetration kills the run game, as Merrill's taught us all, but it also disrupts the backfield action, creating turnover. Nice job by the Titans. still has to make sure he gets that sucker in there.
And then Kenny Britt. Listen, they weren't sure if he was going to play because of the allegations of a bar fight. He played, and he played unbelievably well. Comes back for the underthrown ball, and see ya. An 80-yard touchdown there. And listen, he took advantage of what the defense was doing, and he saw the ball and went out and got it.
Great job of playing the football. See how quickly he gets his head around? That allows him to play the ball quicker than the defender and then run after the catch was himself.
19-7 at that point, and we're not done with Kenny Britt. I mean, if you think Roddy White might have won your league in fantasy, Kenny Britt won a lot of people's leagues as well. Another huge completion.
Yeah, nice move. Kenny Britt's becoming a nice route runner, too. You see him get a little corner move, then get back to the post. He plays the ball well in the air.
And then one more time, looks to the screen and throws it to Britt again. 5th straight game he scored a touchdown. He had 2 in this game. 7 grabs, 225. Performance by Britt as the Titans continue to do what they do. They beat NFC opponents 37-19. Speaking of Redskins opponents, Redskins and Bears, this was not a game that would down to the Hall of Fame. There's Israel Adonijay coming up with a batted deflection, and DJ Moore 54 yards the other way for a touchdown. Listen, we know the music is playing. Trust me, the game was worthy of this accompaniment. There was a stretch at one point where they just kept turning the ball over back and forth. Third quarter, Bears up 14-10. Does anybody need a Waka Waka music now? Albert Hainsworth comes up, forces the fumble on the attempted Jay Cutler sneak. The Redskins recover. That's pretty good. That's what you pay the guy for.
That's what we want.
Yeah,
when we signed you, that's what we need, my friend.
Yeah.
Every play.
The ball appears to cross the goal line before Cutler loses it. Lovie Smith doesn't challenge the call. Redskins ball. At one point, it was just a turnover fest. That's more again, but there's a flag down delay of games. Take that one off the board. As you take a look, the play clock, that would be zeros.
This is okay to have a penalty at this moment.
Yeah.
We appreciate that you have one.
And then find this as funny as me?
Yes.
The music and
the whole thing is ridiculous. There's D'Angelo Hall. Listen, here was the Bears' second half offense as we watch more issues for Donovan McNabb and company. That's a nice interception.
That's big time right there, baby.
That was a very nice interception.
It's a top 10.
Okay, here was the Bears' second half offense. They had 7 drives. 6 of them ended in turnovers. 6 of the 7 ended in turnovers.
That is not the stat you're looking for.
No, including D'Angelo Hall with a pick 6 here, 92 yards. Okay, we've shown you 2 D'Angelo Halls thing. It's not done yet. All kinds of, what is that? Matt Forte, the ball just falls out. The Redskins recover. At some point, I think Fozzie Bear from The Muppet Show is going to come in and do the rest of these highlights. There's Ryan Terrain. Look at this. There's another fumble. Wait, we're not done. You know why? Because Jay Cutler's throwing it. You know where he's throwing it? To D'Angelo Hall. Okay, that's the 3rd interception of the game. Yet it's watchable. Mike Martin's like, that is not what we had in mind. Okay, now Graham Gano going to try a field goal. No.
Off the top
of the left upright. Redskins, by the way, there is a score in this game. It's 17-14.
All right, here we go. Good play coming.
Good play.
Good play. By an offensive lineman catching the ball.
Unbelievable. Chris Williams catches the loose ball.
This is
That's
great.
your head.
Really, there are no words. There are very few words to describe what we were seeing. Although we got to give somebody their proper credit. Congratulations to D'Angelo Hall, because you were Jay Cutler's favorite receiver, and that is your 4th interception in the game, tying an NFL record. Redskins did win, 17-14. Coming up next, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. When we continue on primetime, Denver apparently left for London a week early. Not that the Raiders mattered, as they did something they have never done before in franchise history. Staubach, Montana, Elway, Freeman? It's working out that way in Tampa.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. In Week 7, the New York Giants roll into the Big D. Coverage 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Hey, don't sit back there with indecision. Safeties, make a damn call. Let's go. They're back there having a damn tea party.
You okay? Huh? Didn't understand that answer. Damn. Come on, stay in there, Jake.
Bring it back here. Bring it back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Bring it all the way back. All the way back. Let's go.
Fan.
Ah, shoot. Bring it back.
Play it again. That's terrible. It's the 21st practice, and we got 8 guys leaving at the different times.
Come on, guys. This is not an exercise in futility. Holy smokes. Omar, give him the ball so he can run with it, will you, please?
They're getting tired. It's hot. They're tired, hot. They're not thinking, so it's not processing.
All right, now that's like the dumbest thing we can do. You guys understand? But that's why we're practicing. It'd rather be dome right here in the heat of Spartanburg than out on some game field in the NFL.
A player who makes the team great is better than a great player.
If the ball gets there before you, then you beat the hell out of it. But if you're on the ball like you were there, you poke for the ball. Put your hand in the tackle. Yep.
On Goose versus Tampa, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Let him wait.
Well, you just, that's why I say manipulate him.
Yeah.
Come off of it and then do that with the safety. Boom, and then down the middle. Okay.
Over here, over here. Oh, what the hell?
You're watching NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
All right, primetime rolls on. Steven Jackson and the Rams taking on Tampa. And when they're up 10-3, it's 2nd and 3, and Steven Jackson's going to get you 18. Congratulations, my man. Steven Jackson passes Eric Dickerson for first place all-time on the Rams rushing list, 7,324 yards. Had 100 yards in the game. Broke a finger, though. Not sure if he's going to play next week.
Tape it up.
Josh Freeman is fast becoming a very clutch quarterback. Okay, they're down 17-12, and he's completing pass after pass, Trent.
He's done a great job his entire, his short career right now, especially in the biggest moments of games.
As in late in the contest, and as you see there, again, another big completion for a gain of 9 and a first down there to Kellen Winslow. And then Freeman and Mike Williams. This Rams defense was getting tired. It's a 5-point contest. They need a touchdown. We got 17 seconds left. Josh Freeman rolling, making something happen. And there is Cadillac Williams for the touchdown. Unbelievable job by Freeman. He has 7 wins as a starter. 5 of them have been fourth quarter comeback wins. And apparently Raheem Morris is taking this to a whole new level. How much does he like his team? Here's what he said. We're the best team in the NFC. Yeah, I said it. We're the best team in the NFC.
Well, you notice he didn't put the NFL because he is smart enough to know that the AFC is a part of it.
Yeah, and then they're not even first in their division, but that's a separate issue. Okay, again, let's focus in on West down and bound, as in the teams out West really have struggled this year. The Broncos play in London next week, so I was wondering if perhaps they've already adjusted their body clocks. The Raiders came in and did something they have never done in franchise history. Zach Miller's slightly open for a 43-yard touchdown pass at 7-0. Kyle Orton, well, clearly, that offense has been clicking. He'll respond, and he does for the Raiders. Chris Johnson, one of those pick six we talk about, just like that, boom. Less than 5 minutes gone, it's 14-0. Next Broncos possession.
This did remind me of how you play in training camp.
Yeah.
Like you want to get to where you need to be, but you don't want to tackle.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it reminded me of training camp.
Well, something
from the Broncos' perspective, that is.
Demarius Thomas there from Tim Tebow. Loose ball recovered by Lamar Houston. Thomas was ruled down. Tom Cable would challenge, and as you can see, he knocks the ball out. Oakland would win the challenge. That led to one of many Darren McFadden touchdowns. Many. All kinds of things for Darren McFadden. Not only running, how about this? Screen pass. 31-0, and they just started the second quarter. Yeah, Tom Cable wise. We'll go for 1 here, guys.
Should have went for 2.
We'll go for 1.
Should have went for 2.
It's 45-14.
I mean, look at the movement. Where's the secondary? Where's the safety? What are you doing?
Sweat? McFadden, 16 carries, 165 yards. He averaged 10 yards a carry. That was a franchise record, 59 points for the Raiders. An absolute whooping. Cardinals, Seahawks. Mike Williams making a strong case that comeback player of the year. And that's a great catch right there from Matthew Hasselbeck for the 2-yard touchdown.
Mike Williams done a great job getting back in shape, showing the hunger, and then going out and being productive every single week.
It's funny you mentioned hunger. He literally ate himself out of the league. He did. Detroit. And he has come back with a vengeance.
Lifestyle changes, and he's back in the league.
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, those are not easy throws. He's not wide open.
Well, and you can tell Matthew Hasselbeck trusts him. Right. Matt will stick it in some tight windows, and Mike Williams is a receiver forcing in some man coverage as well.
Matt or Matthew?
It's Matthew.
11 catches, 87 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Mom gets mad.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie blocks the field goal here, but wait, Cromartie is, well, it's easy to block it when you start 3 seconds before the play.
Yeah.
Nullified.
That's why it's a penalty.
That's correct. And then Andre Roberts, bobble.
Get that ball high and tight into the chest, son.
It's recovered by Roy Lewis. And then the Seahawks kicking it off. Jason Wright, no, and there's another one recovered by Kennard Cox. Cardinals 5 turnovers. Seahawks win 22-10. Boy, the situation at quarterback is just dicey for the Cardinals. When we continue, we had many choices. Game balls handed out next. Stay with us. Primetime has more.
NFL Primetime is delivered by PapaJohns.com. Just a click of the mouse. Papa's in the house. And in part by Tabasco. So much more than hot.
Hey, Matt Millen here. Hey, watch Monday Night Countdown all season long right here on ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise, for the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
College football lives here on ESPN America. Every Saturday, Chris Fowler and the gang get you ready for the matchups on ESPN's all-new 3-hour college game day. Then, catch live games from campuses across the U.S. Want even more college football action? We've got it all. Tons of bowl games, including every game in the Bowl Championship Series and the BCS National Championship game. Plus, weekdays, stay on top of the action with College Football Live. The biggest names, the biggest games every Saturday. College football lives here all season long, live on ESPN America.
You're not first, you're last, baby.
Chad yells it down. Chad, touchdown. Caught. Ocho Cinco, touchdown. Got it. Touchdown. A one-handed, right-handed catch. Touchdown. Ocho Cinco.
Game Balls is delivered by PapaJohns.com. Just a click of the mouse. Papa's in the house.
Tuesday night, ESPN's 30 for 30 looks back at the phenomenon that was Fernando Mania, how Fernando Valenzuela's rookie season captivated not only Dodger fans, but the entire nation. Fernando Nation on ESPN, Tuesday at 8 Eastern. All right, back to football, ladies and gentlemen. We hand out game balls. Merrill Hodge. Who gets your game ball this week?
Mine go to the entire Raider team. They dominated than they've ever scored before, and have the Denver Broncos on the other end, and they outcoached the Denver Broncos. And that is as succinct as I could possibly be, my brother.
Good job.
Mine's Eric Mangini takes a 1-5 football team into the house of the defending Super Bowl champs with a rookie quarterback. Gotta love what he's doing in Cleveland.
Now, third straight year they've beaten the Super Bowl champs, the Cleveland Browns have. Look, your name's in the record book, you get a game ball. Of course, D'Angelo Hall already has 4 game balls from the interceptions he took from Jay Cutler.
Boy.
But congratulations to D'Angelo Hall. Thank you for watching NFL Primetime. Trent, Merrill, Trey, succinctly done.
Brought to you by FullTiltPoker.com.